Yo, GM,
GM.
all you DGens, happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's popping off. Hope everybody caught a bag last week. It wasn't too hard, honestly, to catch a bag last week.
Yeah.
I mean, things were kind of pamping.
Things were, yeah. It was kind of weird, and I think we'll talk about it here in a bit, but, since as you know, chat knows, I was kind of on a little break for a week and a half with me being on New York City, me being sick and everything. So I wasn't paying attention too much to NFTs. So I was mainly watching ETH and the ApeCoin price. And just by watching those prices, I'm like, man, we're feeling bullish. We're pumping right now. But it's funny when you look at the NFT prices. It's like it's a little bit different story. But it's easy to look at the ETH and ApeCoin and crypto prices right now and just feel bullish and feel like we're pumping right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy to feel bullish. It's easy to look like a smart guy. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's always kind of like I try to make sure that you take some profits off the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's where you put them afterwards too, right?
Yeah.
So like, you take profits and you cash it out. I mean, that only goes so far. It's a good thing. Like, people should definitely do it. But at the same time, like, the U.S. dollar is a
scam.
Is a scam, right?
Was that what you're gonna say, right?
Yeah, it's a scam. So,
no.
But yeah, have a strategy to stick to it.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Well, it's Wednesday. It's middle of the week. A lot happened. I guess not really a lot happened, but yesterday there was like one big, huge bomb that was dropped on the NFT community that we're going to talk about here in a little bit later. So we got a few short segments. Schiller's calling the top. We're going to zero. Everyone go and sell everything. Send it. Get out while you can. But we got a few segments, a few tried and true segments. We got actually, Hun7ar in the chat. Artist of Lobby 3, NFT artist, memer, troll. He's the boy. He's going to be on with us today. He's going to be representing the chat for Pick'em. So we'll talk about that a little here in a bit. We have a new segment today. We got one. I'm going to tease a little bit, but we got it's called Dub or Rug. This is where I'm gonna break down a project. It's minting today. There's another. Well, I guess the allow list is minting today. We've got the public sale is later on. But I'm going to break it down. I'm going to try to present it from a neutral standpoint. I'm just going to try to present the facts. Like normally if I was looking at any other project, how my process is going to be. I'm going to present that to you, present it to the chat, and then everyone's going to vote. Is this a dub or is it a rug? I don't know.
Rug?
We're going to find out. But just like as usual, let's pull up some charts. Let's look at some floors. This is an NFT stream, so we're going to look at the NFT floor prices. And, it's sticking out right now over the last 24 hours. Again, as usual, we try to ignore, those smaller projects that have like a 0.02 floor. Like, we don't need to talk about the Society of Derivative Apes, It's... But if we look at this, and the first one I see that sticks out is On-Chain Monkey. On-Chain Monkey, they're up 20% in the last 24 hours. They've had themselves a day. I'm sold out of On-Chain Monkey, so I haven't been following it. I don't know why they're pumping. I think maybe you have a couple. I think some of your family maybe has some. Was there an announcement or something that happened that caused this increase in them for this last day?
Man, I think. Who was it? Totally, or somebody told me what was happening, but my sister has some. I don't have any more. I'm into like 5, I sold them like within the first month.
Right.
Big oof. But yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on over there. I need to go check it out.
Yeah, well, GG's to anyone holding them, I think we did see them get to like 3 ETH at one point. They dropped down a lot, but I mean, hey, maybe they had an announcement yesterday and now they're back up 20%. I'm sitting at a nice floor at a almost 1.9 now. And then the only other one I was looking at this. I don't even know what this project is. We're getting to the point where there's so many projects out there now that even people that have been in this space for a while, we do this for a living. I see them. I'm like, I don't even know what this project is, but it has a good floor price. So I wanted to ask you. Maybe the chat knows, but the Gray Boys, I've never heard about it, but apparently it's up 30% in the last day. It's at 1.2. It was minted back in November.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not following this. I don't know why it's up this much. Maybe they probably had an announcement coming out. But is this something that you knew about? Do you know the Gray Boys? Do you have any? Anyone in the chat have them?
I knew about the Gray Boys before. I've seen them, and I've even seen them on this site, Flips Finance. That's kind of where I saw them at first because they were pimping pretty hard. But yeah, as soon as I opened them up, it just reminded me of like Alien Boys, but maybe a little better.
Right.
I don't have any, but I think we have somebody in the Shillerverse who has quite a few.
Yeah, it looks like Snow says he just sold his last one recently. I don't know if he means On-Chain Monkey or for Gray Boys, but either way.
Probably both. Man's a goat.
Yeah, Snow's into everything. He's got it all. All right, let's look at the flip side of this. What are some of the top losers? And this is one that we talked about on Monday as a top gainer. And just as usual, it's pretty common to see a top gainer, and then a couple days later, it's back down to where it began. So it's going to look like a big drop off. But we got Pudgy Penguins back down to earth, back down to under 1 ETH. They had that 20%, 25% pump up to like 1.2, 1.3, and now they're back down. They probably had an announcement. Everything kind of cooled off. Now they're back down to normal. And then we've also got Boss Beauties are down about 12%. These have been on a little roller coaster. I think we all minted these. I don't have any of these anymore. Are you still holding any Boss Beauties?
No, I never. No, you know what? I take that back. I think I had 2 or 3 Boss Beauties, and again, I sold them within the first few weeks. But my sister's still holding on to one. Like, she's super diamond handed the Boss Beauties.
Oh, is your sister a low-key a whale? She's got On-Chain Monkeys. She got these Boss Beauties.
Even my dad had a couple Boss Beauties. But I had told him to sell, and he sold, and then they pimped.
That's usually how it works out, right?
Yep.
Cool. That's there's not really a ton going on. We're seeing ETH pumping. It's still like it hasn't retraced really much at all. I've got the little ticker up here in the top over here, but it's been staying around this 3,400 range, and even with that pump, we're seeing a lot of these NFTs are stabilizing. Like we're not seeing floors fall through the roof because ETH is pumping, which is kind of nice to see. I think that's a good sign. So I wouldn't expect like an established project to just completely, go parabolic right now with the action we're seeing with ETH. Now, if it settles in around here for a while, we'll probably see it a little bit down the road. But yeah, right now, I think it's a good sign. What you're looking for, or what I'm looking for, is things just to kind of stay the same, stay at a plus or minus 5% either way, right?
Yeah.
Especially with crypto going, with ETH running.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, so let's break down. We've got some pretty big news that broke yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the ticker down at the bottom. So Ronin,
late,
Axie Infinity, they got here. I can pull up their tweet right here as well, but they got exploited, and this is a big one. This was no small hack. This was, at first they tweeted, hey, there's been a security breach on the Ronin network. Pretty like standard tweet. You think like, oh, maybe nothing's too bad. Maybe they're taking care of it. And then you scroll down to the follow-up tweet. The Ronin bridge has been exploited for 173,000 ETH and 25 million USDC. Yo, sheesh.
Just a small little hack.
That's man, I think that would probably get the longest sheesh that Schiller would ever say. If he streamed it yesterday and talked about this, I bet he just probably said sheesh for like 20 seconds, just nonstop. But oh my gosh.
Yeah, when I read that, I just had to read it again because I was like, no shot, like no way.
Yeah.
Because it was it was yesterday. I rolled out of bed and then I opened my phone and it was the first thing that I saw on Twitter, like everywhere. But the crazy thing about it was that it happened like 6 days before they announced it, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it did happen. So the actual exploit happened on March 23rd, but we didn't hear the news about it until yesterday. So basically, 6 days, basically a week after it happened, is whenever the news broke, which is insane considering we're on the blockchain, everything's public information, you can track this. I think some people were starting to catch wind that it was happening and it was starting to kind of flow out slowly, but it's crazy. It was a week before people found out that it was this big of a hack. Did you I know you're kind of the tech guy, right? We got I'm really nothing, right? I just bring maybe some jokes every now and then, and that's about it. But Jeremy brings the tech side. He's the smarts here. And so, did you dig into this? Did you see what happened and what the hacker did, and how they actually accessed this?
Man, I read a few threads, but not enough into the tech side. I just was really reading about maybe the legal recourse or like the investigation there, like what they were gonna do because they sent it to a few places like FTX, right, as well.
Yeah.
So I was just reading that they were doing their investigations, and because they sent it, they withdrew quite a bit of through KYC like accounts supposedly, but obviously like surely they can't be that stupid, right, to withdraw it to their own accounts. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. But from a tech side, I haven't dived into it yet.
So I mean, I guess I was kind of banking on you to just come in and just sweep it up, and I don't have to say anything. But I guess I'll try to say what I picked up on.
Yeah.
So there's I think, and please chat. I'm sure someone in there knows a lot more about this than I do. So, but I'm pretty sure there's basically a multi-sig wallet that has 9 approvers, and that's what covers like that. That's what's over their bridge for Ronin, for Axie, and and from what I understand is the hacker basically found a backdoor to 4 of the Sky Mavis validator nodes, which is the company behind Axie, and then they found one backdoor for 1 Axie DAO validator node. And so by them finding those backdoors, they were able to get 5 of the 9 for the multi-sig, and that basically gave them a free reign to approve and do whatever they wanted to do, and they just kept pulling money out. And from what I understand, they pulled out the money and it was taken from the bridge. So if you had, if you logged into Axie right now, and you went to the marketplace and you see, on the top right, you can see your ETH balance or your Ronin ETH balance. I think that still says the same for every, like if you're just a regular customer, like if you had two ETH in there, I think it still says 2 ETH. So it didn't technically take your ETH, but I think what it did take was the ETH that was basically backing the value of that ETH. So you can't. So now there's $0. There's nothing backing people's ETH in the Ronin right now. So if you have 2 ETH in Ronin, you really can't bridge it out because there's nothing backing it. It's not really worth anything right now. And I think right now they're trying to, find the funds or get bailed out or anything. They basically QDocs is basically draining a liquidity pool. So you can see it there, but you can't pull anything out. That's how I understood it. That's probably an oversimplification and probably completely wrong. So if anyone's in the chat, more, let me know. But did you hear that? Is that kind of what it sounds like? Did you know about the multi-sig wallet?
Yeah, well, I saw a tweet that I think somebody was making a joke like that they were just going to increase the amount of multi-sig wallets, like necessary. I mean, say multi-sig wallet, but increase the amount of wallets they had to approve. So I did see that part. I also saw that it had something to do with basically like a human error back in December, and then with a mix of like social engineering, I guess, to get the private keys, the hacked private keys. Yeah. So yeah, I guess this was a long time coming, and I wonder what made them pull the trigger now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, someone got fired, right? So, I mean, someone has to get fired for this. So this is, I guess, it's just extreme incompetence. Mm-hmm. Or, and if it's not extreme incompetence, then it's like almost like an inside job type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Either way, it is not good. I feel bad for anyone involved and heavily invested into Axie. I'm really curious to see if they recover. Do you think that they can recover from this? Is this something that is recoverable, or is this kind of like a, hey, let's get the money back to the investors, and then that may be the blow to Axie?
No, I think they're kind of like too big. I think they'll recover from this one specifically, but it definitely leaves a stain on the company in the game. And obviously you lose a lot of trust in current users, but I mean, further down the road, people aren't really going to hear about this despite how historic it is. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to go back and when you look at a project, do you ever look up like if they were hacked at all? Like when you bought Ethereum or when you bought anything, like, yeah, you never look at that stuff. So
I mean, people still buy Solana, and that blockchain goes down every other week, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it'll be kind of not swept under the rug, but just forgotten about, and it won't really have an impact long term. But it can be a combination of things where definitely can see like some Axie killers, and this could just be one of those things.
Definitely opens the door for some of their competitors, but I guess this is one of the big risks of a project creating basically their own like blockchain or fork of ETH to handle the traffic and to make it gasless. Like this is probably the biggest risk, right? To have something like this happen. That's where I guess the advantage of building on, I guess maybe building on Polygon would be a little bit. Would be more, a little bit more safe than building out your own. But again, this is way more technical than my mind can think right now.
Yeah, I'll put the newsletter in there for anybody who wants to check it out. That's directly from Ronin themselves.
Cool. Yeah. Do you think they're gonna get bailed out? Like, is this kind of like a I guess relating it to like the 2008, 2007 like crash for the U.S. economy, like is Axie like kind of like a too big to fail type of an NFT Web3 company that they're gonna get some kind of like bailout just to like save face and make it look like that people didn't just lose all this money?
Yeah, I think for now they probably will, to be honest, because I don't know. Although it's a large amount, it's probably like relatively. I don't know if it's a lot for them, Like how much money have they made over the years, and then where did they invest that?
Yeah.
How much they have in reserves? For a big corporation like themselves, I mean, what kind of insurance policies do they have? So I don't know.
Yo, is this the bull case for BMI, Schiller?
BMI, oh, that's some BMI for sure.
Yeah, I guess one thing one thing to think about is if someone is bullish on Axie still, right? If you still think like, hey, this is they're going to recover, you're going to have a really good buying opportunity once things open back up and the bridge is back and everything's secure. It's a lot of that stuff's going to go to the dirt, and if you believe in the project, you believe in the team and the system that they have, I'm not going to do it, but hey, if someone does, it's going to be an absolute good time to buy in if you think that they're going to recover, right?
Yeah.
They're probably going to see their absolute floor price. Whether it stays there or goes up, it's to be determined. But I guess that's one thing to keep track of if you are looking at this from an investor standpoint, and then maybe you'll follow it closely and see how they handle it, and we can look in and see if there's any kind of opportunities there. Let's see. Any final thoughts on this exploit?
Well, it was kind of interesting because I still have like Axie scholars and stuff, and
oh yeah,
one was asking me like, hey, can I get the QR code? Kind of like they do every week, and bro, I was like, do I even log into Ronin right now? Like, is it safe? and so I was kind of like, I did have to look up my questions about that, but yeah. Long story short, no, I mean, things carry on as normal, but they can't we can't withdraw from the Ronin network, right? So essentially, I don't think that they can get paid at the moment. They can get paid on the Ronin network, like I can send them SLP or whatever, but they can't withdraw that. So yeah, just need to figure out that part for the scholars, just kind of help them out a little bit, but I mean, that's the part that really sucks. So it's not really so much about the people doing the liquidity pools or staking, or even people that have full teams like that, have teams of scholars. It's really about like the scholars. First of all, they're kind of working for so little, but relatively it's a lot for them. But this impacts them in their lives and their family. So that part is what's...
Yeah, I mean, like Axie basically holds up like a whole country's economy, right? Like, or not to hold it up, but it's a pretty big portion of the Philippines, of their their economy, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that's affected. I don't know much about it. I've never had scholars, but I know you do. I know QDog does. I think BSB did in the past. I don't know if he currently does.
I think he does.
And I know several other people that are pretty big into Axie. They've got really big scholar farms. But yeah. I'm gonna be curious to follow it and see how it pans out and see what happens. I know this is a big topic and there's a lot of eyes on this, and I think how they handle the situation is gonna be really important. But
I personally think they'll be okay.
Yeah. There you go. You heard it here. Buy low. That's what Yo Jeremy says. The Yo Jeremy guarantee. Buy low. This is the best opportunity to buy right now. Then, right?
And if you don't have Axies, be sure you get into Board Axie Yacht Club.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Board Axie Yacht Club is the next big thing. Not exaggerating, but I am. All right, so we've talked about that. We're going to kind of move on to our next subject here, and this is a kind of a different completely different portion here. But what's your view on Fewoworld?
Hey, that dude's a goat. Not to be honest, like he's really young still. What, he's 19, 20?
Yeah.
But his art, I mean, it's not for everybody, but no art really is. Like it's all just in the eyes of the beholder. But for me personally, I love what he does. It is really strange, abstract, and super out there.
Absolutely.
But that kind of matches his personality too, and you can tell like it's not forged at all. He's not trying to make stuff that like people want or people like. He's just doing it for himself and like just expressing the way that he feels and looks at life, and then he does that via his art. And I think it's pretty cool. It's awesome. He's had some banger collections in the past. I still want some of his Pharaoh by Artifact shoes because those are fire.
Oh yeah, those are real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't like loud personalities or anything like that, Pharaoh might not, might not be the one for you. But I think his art is dope.
Well, we got an announcement this week. We got Fewoworld, right?
Yeah.
So he came out and announced this is his next step in his collection, and we've got they've already built out the website and everything. Do you have a piece of his? Because I'll walk through kind of how this whole thing works, but I guess one of the most important things is that if you have a piece, you get access to the pre-sale.
Yeah. No, I don't, but I need to pick up one for this.
Cool. Yeah. I think it may be worth it still. I was looking at some of the prices earlier, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I did actually bought a piece. I bought a Fewoworld piece back in like November, so I've had it for quite a bit now. I bought it for like 5 ETH, and I think the floor for that, it was a numbered edition out of 50, so now it's at like, after this news broke, it's like up to like I think 13 or 14 ETH. But yeah, so Fewoworld is, this is releasing this week. This is something that I'm keeping an eye on, and I think you're probably, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm assuming you're kind of keeping an eye on it as well, and you're pretty interested. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. So, this is, for those of you that don't know who Fewoworld is, he's an artist, I would say one of the biggest artists in NFTs, right? Like we have like probably top tiers, like Beeple, tier of his own, right? And then we have maybe Xcopy, Justin Aversano, and then I would almost put like Fewoworld up there in that almost second tier, right?
Yeah, and he's still so young, man.
And he's so young. He's got like he's got this story just growing up transgender, still going through high school, wrestling with all these emotions, but then basically translating all those emotions to his art, and it just translates so well, and it's easy for people to connect to, and it's kind of taken off with NFTs, and it's really allowed him to explore his artistic ability. And he had a piece sell at Sotheby's like a couple months ago, I think, for I forgot exactly how much it was, but it was quite a bit. I think it was in the 7 figures was what it sold for.
Yeah.
So he's got this new collection coming out, and it's releasing on April 3rd, and it's an open edition. It's going to be on Nifty Gateway, but so I think what it is, I've done a little quick research on it. It's basically called paint. You're buying like these paint drops, right? Like, I mean, it looks pretty sick, right?
Yeah, it does.
I like the colors look so good, just like the style, like I think it looks so nice. That's one of my favorite parts about Fewoworld's pieces are his colors, because I know you and I are pretty big on those color palettes, right? But yeah, it's these paint drops. You'll be able to use these. You'll be able to combine them into like canvas things, and they've got these Fewos called these avatars in this world. it's basically this paint drops is going to be, it's kind of like the entry point to this metaverse that Fewoworld is building, and and those drops are going to be used to, burn them or combine them into other assets into this metaverse. There's not a lot of details out yet, but this is all kind of announced and pushed out this week, so it's coming out pretty quick. There's more details about canvas coming out. That's what you're going to use to basically burn multiple paint drops into a canvas. These are the kind of the teaser of the Fuos. This is like the avatar of the Fewoworld, and then it kind of gives me like Dr. Seuss vibes a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Like just like scanning through it, looking through it, and looking like the houses and stuff. It just kind of I see this. I just think and the avatar like silhouette just kind of gives me like this kind of reminds me of Dr. Seuss a little bit.
Yeah, the other play, like the other angle that I see here for Pharaoh is again, because of his age, it's somebody that you can kind of like grow in with his collection, and also like it's gonna appeal to the younger generation. So as they like get into the game, into the NFT scene and stuff like that, this is definitely gonna appeal to them more. It's still a specific art style, but just because of his youth and stuff like that, they're automatically going to be attracted to this. And it's still like so established. It adds that credibility, while still like he can do almost anything he wants, right going forward.
And here's the team. It's obviously he's there at the top. He's the creator, and they got Richard. Richard from Manifold. He's kind of developing the Web3, developing the contract side of it, which is nice. It's good to see. You can already see by this list that this is going to be pumped up like crazy on social media because of the person right there in the middle, right? Because Farouk, the chief vibes officer, whatever that means. So you already know that this is going to be pumped like crazy on social media. So I guess some of the more details about it, the details that we know right now is, so it is releasing on April 3rd, and this is we're not in content. This is not like an ad for them or anything. We're not paid for this, but it's releasing on April 3rd. It is an open edition. I think I don't know the exact time, but earlier in the day at like 12 p.m., the pre-sale is open for holders of if you hold a piece of art by Fewoworld, then you get access to the pre-sale, and that pre-sale price is $500. Since it's on Nifty Gateway, it's in it shows that fiat amount, and then the public sale starts later in the day. I think like at 5 or 6 p.m. on April 3rd as well, and the public sale price is $1,000. And again, this is an open edition, so this is like whenever X Copy had, his Max Payne open edition, right? You can mint as many of these as you want. And me personally, especially since I have the pre-sale and I have the pre-sale price, I'm probably gonna go pretty heavy into this, just because. It's something that one of the top artists and top creators in this space, they don't release these projects very often. So it's kind of like one of those things. Whenever you get the chance, this may be the cheapest price we see it at. So who knows? And especially if there's a burning mechanic where you burn these paint drops down the road, it's gonna make that open edition a little bit more scarce the further down the line it gets. It could be a good opportunity. You mentioned earlier that you're looking at possibly buying a piece to get the pre-sale. Are you looking at considering that still, or are you? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, because I'm still looking at it because it depends on how many paint drops you plan to buy. Like if that discount, so that $500 discount, like times the amount of paint drops you plan to buy, does that like offset the cost of the other object that you bought in to get access to the pre-sale, right? Because if not, then you might as well just mint the public edition, right, for $1,000. If you're not planning to go too heavy, but you can pretty much offset your cost with the discount if you get one of the editions that make you eligible for the pre-sale. Then you kind of like double dip, because now you have one of the other NFTs, although the floor will probably drop out after this sale a little bit, but you've already made up that cost in the discount that you received for the 50% off.
And they have, so most of his art pieces are going to be included for that pre-sale, but there are some pieces that aren't going to be like, hey, if you own it, it's not like a staple piece for Fewoworld, so it's not actually included in that pre-sale. So definitely do, if someone does want to buy a piece, definitely do your own research. They are doing an AMA here in like an hour or so, and it's going to be recorded. And I think at that time they're going to be releasing the list of pieces. I know they already said. I think most of these from the main collection. I think these are included. So you're looking at right now, the floor price right now is 2.08 to get that pre-sale price. But I know for a fact one collection that is not included is this Ferocious by ComplexCon. They've already come out and announced like this piece by him is not. This one does not give you pre-sale access. People misunderstood that because this jumped up to like three ETH.
Hope you sold.
Yeah, they throw up these jumped up to like 3 ETH late yesterday. So and now they're back down to 0.6 because now it's like, oh wait, never mind, it's not part of the pre-sale. So you can just tell like by that jump like how many people are valuing this. And I think it's going to be pretty popular. And I'm curious to see, since it is an open edition, how many we're going to see being minted and created overall. What number do you think we're going to sit at? We saw about 7,000 for the open edition for X copy. Do you think we're going to see similar for this, or do you think we're going to see more?
Man, that's so hard to tell. Like, I would probably want to look at the volume of their other projects, the like Twitter followers and supporters and stuff like that, holders of the other projects. But if I just had to guess, I don't know. I would say, honestly, I might even say more. No disrespect to X copy,
Yeah, well, X copies was more expensive. His was, I think, a 1 ETH open edition, right?
Yeah.
And this is just, $500, $1,000 for public, so it's still, even the public is less than 0.5. So, I mean, I think we see 15, 20,000.
Yeah.
At least, right?
Yeah. I would
Because
say.
you gotta think there's some whales out there that are gonna scoop up 1,000 on their own, right?
Yeah, my boss, my CEO, Maddie is definitely like super big on Pharaoh.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, TrueCon, that whale, he's probably gonna sell one of his mansions and just buy all these paint drops and just scoop up 2,000 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so Hunter asked how long is it open for? I think the open edition is for 24 hours, and it's on Nifty Gateway. But that's on April 3rd, so we still have a few days. Something to keep track of. I think that's we'll be back here on Friday streaming. We'll probably have more updates and we'll have more information. Since it's something we're both looking into, we'll kind of share what we find with you guys as well.
Yeah, not financial advice, but I'm super hyped for it.
Not financial advice, but this may be every now and then we see like, hey, this week this project was the buy of the week, right? And for this week it could be this one. I mean, I think this is probably the best opportunity that we've seen this week at least. Especially if you're in it for the long term, like these. I mean, think about. I mean, you just think about like the X copy, Ferocious, Beeple, like these. How early we are, like it's so cliche to say we're early, but how early we are in digital art and NFTs. Think about like years down the road, and if you have these original pieces from 2022 or 2021 of these artists, and so if you are looking at it from a long term and maybe not so much as a short term flip, I think it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't. We kind of like DJ and we spend so much money on projects from nobody artists, and that's not like a knock to them. It's just like they're not established in the space, right? Versus somebody who is. It's kind of like you get what you pay for, right? There may be a smaller ROI, like short term, but it's so much like you're not exposing yourself to as much risk when you buy something like from an artist like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people spent 3 ETH on Pixelmon, right? And this is less than 0.5. So, yeah, take that with what you will. Cool. Well, that was that was kind of another big piece of news that broke just because of how big of an artist Ferocious is. Another, like this isn't like a big news, but I wanted just to use this as a segue for us to talk about this particular topic. But so I don't know if you use LooksRare or if you're still just purely OpenSea. But LooksRare yesterday announced that they have this new chat button, this new feature on their website. So you can, it's instead of trying to find someone's Twitter or Discord, you can basically send them a message on the blockchain that shows up, and you're able to chat with someone that has an item listed. You can say, "Hey, I saw you have this listed. I'm interested in it. Will you go down?" You can kind of negotiate, and this gives you a way to contact somebody. What are your thoughts on this? And then also, are you using LooksRare at all still? Or are you still exclusively OpenSea?
When I go to buy something, I look at both marketplaces, but when I list something, I'm still only listing on OpenSea.
Yeah, I
And
mean that's where the liquidity is at right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I mean, that's kind of like that's what I do at the moment. Not saying everybody should do that. I should probably list on LooksRare more often and then like share those links on Twitter or something, or even
Right.
the stream, just to get more people using LooksRare, because it is, a pretty decent marketplace, and they're still, I mean, they're what, less than 90 days old.
Yep.
So, I mean, sky's the limit for those guys, and there's really no difference between OpenSea and LooksRare in terms of what you can and can't do. It's just, it comes down to very, very little things, but they've built, like, they have the built-in rarity for certain verified projects, and then they have this, right, the messaging tool. Then they have auto converting your WETH to looks, so that way you can auto stake that. There's just so many benefits to using LooksRare, so I should use it more often. But what do I think about this? I think it's pretty cool, but are people going to trust the service, right? It is from Etherscan, so it does provide that credibility. Well, it's from the team that developed Etherscan, actually.
Yeah.
I think I don't think that they're necessarily calling themselves like Etherscan, but it's from the same team. So that I think people will be a little bit more open to using it. But there's another one, and I'll put it here in the chat. But it's called Inbox.life, and that was kind of the first one that I knew of that had or a UI built around decentralized like chat messaging. So this is one that comes from Parallel, and I really like the vibe with this one. And then Etherscan Chat came out, so I think Parallel. Actually, if you see their concept for what they want Inbox Life to be, and it's integrated within all these dApps and games, it's going to be pretty cool. But the only thing I say is that they've kind of not missed the mark, but now because of Etherscan Chat being integrated into LooksRare, they're kind of not the first to that market now in terms of being supported by other applications. So I feel like they should have just got into these other existing applications right now, and then just continue building, because now in terms of these messaging applications, you're going to see this battle back and forth.
Yeah, that's a good breakdown. And I wanted to pull up an example here, so I pulled up like an ape. Let's say if I was interested in this nice 4-trait red fur ape, if you pull up on on LooksRare, you go to the item page, and it's right here, just this little chat button. I haven't even used this yet, so I don't even know. Do you know, like, does someone get a notification in their LooksRare or their email, like, hey, you have a block scan chat, someone's contacting you? Or is it like, I guess I'm curious, how easy is it for a seller? Because a lot of people just list things and forget about it and just wait until it sells, right?
Yeah.
So I guess how easy is this for someone to actually see the chat, or is it something that's going to be easily missed if they're not actually looking for it?
Yeah, you're not notified. You have to log into the block scan chat.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I guess that's the only issue. Like, it's not like I guess it sounds nice, but I don't think it's going to be used as much. Like, me personally, I would rather just have someone's Twitter or Discord link to their profile, and I can just contact them through that. But I guess this is one way where you're contacting the verified person that has this asset, so without a doubt, 100% this person owns that asset.
Yeah,
that
is the benefit of it,
yeah.
for sure. This is just a quick preview of Inbox.life. So you can see here, like, I was messaging him totally. I was calling him a bot and stuff. I was challenging him to like a 1v1, but he kept dodging and stuff. And then I was trying to contact my Axie manager, BSB here, but then no reply. But yeah, you kind of pin favorites up here. So this is a basic UI at the moment, but if you look at Parallel's tweets and whatnot, like, they do have the concept of what they wanted this to be in game. But they do have this interesting Inbox Stat Pro, which is going to be using their Prime token, and you pay 1 Prime a month to have threaded conversations, gifts, and no character limit. So that's going to be coming soon as well. And then you can have verified PFPs as your profile picture within the inbox beta.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I mean that's. I guess it's the one thing I like about it is the NFA team is building, right? And they are adding these different, these quality of life things, which is, I hate. First of all, I hate the name. I hate the UI. I hate that it's a .org address, right? It's like, it's the only thing in NFTs or Web3 that has a .org address. I feel like, besides maybe Uniswap.
Yeah.
But I feel like Uniswap was made like way back in the day before like IO was maybe as popular as it is now. But I don't know. But they are. I mean, I will give them credit, even though I don't like the UI or like the feel of it. It's they're building, they're adding these quality of life features, which is nice. I love seeing that. You want to see these competitors to OpenSea continue to build and continue to try to reach them and separate themselves. And like to
what's
see
the
it.
last thing OpenSea has added?
I'm trying
We've
to
asked
think.
them for like 100 things, and they've delivered 1.5 maybe.
I mean, they did add. I don't know if it was this week or last week, but that now you can see on someone's activity if it was an airdrop instead of just a transfer. So it says airdrop if someone was airdropped something on the activity feed. But that's, I mean, they added that at least. That's something, but it's not it's not what we're asking for, right?
Mm-hmm. They still don't even have like collection offer, right?
No, and that's one of the good thing about NFA is that collection offer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would ever use it right now because I think the most common use I see for the collection offer, or the most common one I hear about, is someone puts an offer for apes for here's an offer for 95 ETH on NFA, and then someone's ape gets hacked, and then they go to NFA and take that collection offer, and then now you're the owner of a hacked ape, right? Or quote unquote hacked ape. And then just because of that stigma and the attention it has and it's delisted on OpenSea, it reduces the value of it. So that would be the one thing that keeps me away from those collection-wide offers until that stigma of these quote-unquote hacked assets is kind of gone, because I don't think it should. I mean, we're in blockchain and we're in Web3. It's the only person that is responsible for your assets is you. And when it comes down to that, if you lose it, it's sorry. I don't think it should have I don't think it should affect the next owner of it. But yeah, I guess pitch talk is a thing. That is one piece of news we didn't really talk about. But OpenSea, they're adding Solana NFTs, and that's coming soon. I think they announced that yesterday. Right? I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
So
that might be pretty big.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's gonna add a lot of like liquidity for some Solana projects, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're all gonna pump. You know, the what is the saying? Like the cream will rise to the top or whatever.
Yeah.
So the good projects, I definitely see like a lot more activity. But if it's just a bad Solana project, you're still not gonna get some exit liquidity out of that. They're just gonna stay trash.
Yeah, I think this is bigger news for Solana NFTs than it is for OpenSea or anything else. It's just it gives them more exposure. Hun7ar asked if there's any Solana NFTs that we're into. Are you into any Solana NFTs?
I only have one terrible project in there. Like, yeah, and I will never be able to sell it. So no.
Oh, you want to keep that close to the vest? You're not trying to share with everyone.
I don't even know what it's called anymore.
Okay.
To be honest. Yeah, I bought like 2 of them and it's just trash.
Was it whenever we all bought those like lions or whatever, the soul lions?
No.
No. So Hun7ar, I got into Solana NFTs like late summer. So I bought some of the Degenerate Ape Academies. I still have one of those left. So that's basically my only exposure to Soul NFTs is that one Degen Ape Academy NFT, and I bought that whenever it was like 10 Soul at the time, and Soul was like $70.
Just showing a little bit more of Inbox.life, just as we kind of end the topic and transition into another one. But here's like an updated UI of what they plan for Inbox.life to be. So it's very, threaded, conversational, like almost kind of like Discord, but in a decentralized manner. And then you can even have like built-in game invites, so that way I can, throw an invite out there to Hun7ar, smack them on the board or something like that. And then they have calendar events here, which are you'll be reminded about, as you have your wallet connected, and then these communities submit their events. It's all going to be on here. So Inbox.life, looking forward to it. But there is a free version, and then apparently there will be a premium version.
Nice. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing more of those services being available and being used more at a broader scale than just, this small niche. Cool. All right, so moving on, we got the segment portion of our stream. So we got 3 segments today. So normally we're pretty heavy in like the content and news updates. We're coming at you this week today with 3 segments. Our first one, it's been a while since we've done this segment, and do you have that red and blue flashing light close by? I feel like this is a good one for it, but if not, no worries. But we've got NFA's Most Wanted. We're back. We're gonna let the chat decide. Hey, we're gonna present something that maybe happened in the NFT news, and hey, are they on the most wanted list? Right? Are they on NFA's most wanted? We got one culprit this week, and this one may kind of there it is. Red alert. Get the cops in here. Hold up. NFA's most wanted coming up. But this one kind of hits. This one maybe hits close home to our guest today. And I mentioned earlier, Hun7ar was an artist for Lobby 3. Well, let's talk about that real quick. And Hun7ar, feel free, if you come on later, you can share your thoughts on this. I don't know if this is, maybe you can let us know if they deserve to be on this list or not, but we're just going to present the facts or this side of the facts that we know. So we've got, Lobby 3 released a few weeks ago, and basically they got a lot of these artists involved, and they have this artist, Philip Lights. He made art for the Web3, the Lobby DAO project, and they have these screenshots of how they were going to be compensated. It was going to be a percentage of sales, but I guess since this person's art wasn't used in the actual NFT, they ended up trying to just give them, $500 flat instead of the percentage fees, because they, quote, our commissions weren't that huge. It didn't sell out as much as they thought. I looked at these screenshots. I didn't see anything that said purely, hey, if we use your art in our NFTs, then you get a percentage. But I think the stance that Andrew Yang's campaign manager is taking, Zach, is saying, hey, well, we didn't use your art in the NFT itself, so we don't owe you a percentage of the NFT sales, even though their art was used on the website, it was used on Discord, on Twitter, it was used for promotion. So basically this artist is basically kind of calling them out like, hey, yo, you guys, this is what you're doing. You're not paying us. This is not what you stand for. You're kind of giving this artist the short end of the stick after you sold out $1,000, and you're just trying to pay us $250, $500 just to say, hey, here you go. Thanks for your time. Have fun. Mm-hmm. He's got this thread. The funny part, and I have to find it too. One of the funny parts is, something that Andrew Yang was said is, Web3 has the potential to eliminate poverty, right? But at the same time, they're not really paying their artists for after using their work.
If they are, it's like breadcrumbs from what they made from the
if they are, they made $800K and they're trying to give people $250 or $500. Mm-hmm. So it comes across a little, hypocritical. And, in this thread, Zach, the campaign manager, responded like, hey, we'd love to connect. Do you have time? I've been in touch with the other artists. But then one of the other artists replied to that and was like, what are you talking about? You're lying right now. We DM'd the artist that you said you emailed, and they haven't heard anything back, and they haven't got anything. So looks like they're trying to cover up a little bit. So this is, a really quick one. But hey, NFA's most wanted. Does Andrew Yang, Zach Grauman, do they deserve to be put on the NFA's most wanted list? And I own Lobby 3s. This isn't good for me, right? I don't know if you ever minted any, but I think the floor price dropped to like 0.03. Chili says get them. Jeremy, if you're the judge, are you issuing them on the NFA's most wanted list? Are you putting the poster across the city, across the block?
Man, I don't want to blame the entire team, because obviously there's some responsibilities handed out, but obviously, what was this guy's name? Zach. Yeah. So I would guess, I would say Zach maybe. I can't really say that the other team had a hand in it, but I feel like this was handled pretty poorly. And yeah, I mean, I think it's deserving.
So Hunter says, like, I guess they did get like 20 artists, and if each artist got 1%, that would have been 20% of the project, which is a lot.
Yeah, but they didn't even get. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know, but that's why you handle that stuff up front, right? Like,
yeah, it seems like if
in
anything,
emails he's like, nah, contract's not needed, because of time and all this stuff. Like, that's why contracts are needed, or that's why the detailed wording like is important.
Right. I guess if anything, it's probably really bad communication between Zach and the artists, if I had to guess what the actual situation was. And maybe Hunter can share his thoughts on that too, or let us know. But it seems like, they brought these artists on that expected to get, 1% of, the sales based off their art. But they did that with 20 different artists, and they weren't really clear on the actual terms, and it was maybe it was, little some gray areas here and there, and Zach thought one thing, the artist thought the other thing, and then once push came to shove, it didn't match up. But it was already happened after the sale, and this is we saw a similar thing with Dented Fields and the weather report project. Like, they didn't have like that. Their communication was terrible. They each thought different things, and then by the time it was too late, it was like, this isn't going to work. They didn't have contract ahead of time. Nothing was really known or set out in the open. So I don't know. It just seems like these projects keep this poor communication with their artists. And yeah, I'm really curious to see. Actually, we have a special guest that just hopped in. Hunter, I know you're listening. You just hopped. You got the link because you're coming in for picking, which we have in a bit. But do you want to hop up here real quick and just kind of share your thoughts on this, since you were actually you saw this firsthand? You know more than me and Jeremy. I don't want to bring you up if you're not okay with that though. But all right, here we go. Yo, it's Hunter. Everyone, welcome to the stage.
Everybody, welcome Hunter to the stage. Coming in with a banger.
Yo, what's going on?
Banger. Yo, Hun7ar.
Yo, what up, Kitty?
Yeah, we got Maggie chilling.
Maggie.
Look at that cat stream.
Yeah, I guess I can talk a little bit. I mean, I was under the impression I wasn't even going to get paid. I mean, like, Zach told me that there's going to be big name artists on here. So I was like, this is cool for me to just get my name out there, put it on the resume, something like that. I mean, the whole point of this was to use the funds to do good, right? So, yeah. I mean, I was okay not taking any money.
Did like up front, did they tell you that you were going to get paid any certain amount or anything? Or was it just kind of like, hey, would you want to do some art for us? And that was kind of left there.
I'll have to go through my email. I mean, honestly, I don't remember getting paid up front, because I think when I saw the payment came through, I was really surprised. Like,
yeah, I mean, you work for Schiller. You're not used to getting paid. It's a nice change of pace for you, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was fine with it. It was like 0.2 ETH, so it ended up being like $600. I mean,
cool.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's kind of a mess.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, I guess my impression is it looks like a miscommunication from Zach. Like, I guess was Zach the main one coordinating all of this on behalf of Andrew?
Yeah, that's who I had talked to through emails.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a little bit rushed. They were trying to get it out there. Who knows?
Yeah. Probably kind of fell through whenever they didn't. I'm assuming they didn't sell as many as they expected. So. But
True.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, sharing your thoughts. I'm gonna put you back down in the waiting room because I got one more. Good. I got one more segment to go through. Then we'll bring you up for the pick'em. But I'm glad. I mean, it was a good time to talk about it because you had the first-hand experience. So I'm glad we got your thoughts. I guess if I had to rule on this, I wouldn't put them in the NFA's most wanted list. I would just say like it was probably a miscommunication on both ends. Yeah. I don't think that. It doesn't seem like there was any ill intent on behalf of Andrew and Zach?
I don't think so.
Cool. All right.
I'll be back.
All right. Sounds good. Stay late. It was we were talking about the Lobby 3 project with Andrew Yang. But cool. All right. So Jeremy had to step out real quick. But that's okay. This next segment I can do solo because this is our new segment. So let me pull up this right here. This is dub or rug. This is where I'm going to break down an NFT project. It's minting today, and I'm gonna try to present the facts. I'm gonna try to present it like I'm a news anchor. I'm just bringing the facts. I'm gonna try to leave my bias out of it, what I think out of it, and at the end of it, I'm gonna let Jeremy. I'm gonna let the chat. You guys are gonna decide: is this a dub or is it a rug? I don't know. But I would ask, Robo already says rug.
I already says rug, bro.
He's rug, that's it.
Idiot.
I would ask, please hold, just like if you go to an event, they ask you to hold your applause till the end. Please hold your judgment until the end. Wait till you see all of the facts. Because this one, I could see it go either way. I don't know. We'll find out. So, it's good. I already know when I first show it up, y'all are going to be like, okay, this is a rug. But without further ado, let's hop into this candidate of Dub or Rug, the Mutant Shiba Club. All right, so this is minting today. They actually have the allow list minting today, and then they have the public list the public sale is going to be happening later, and they have a raffle for the public sale. So right now it's a 10,000 project as usual. 5,879 are reserved for the pre-sales, and those are going to be at 0.16 ETH. And then there's 4,121 left for the public sale afterwards. And what they say for that is, the public sale mint price, in their words, will not be known until the time of mint. So keep that in mind.
Staley with Wayne Maynard with the 10 gifted. Coming with a fat gifted bag. Appreciate it, my guy. That's much love.
Definitely.
Thank you very
appreciate that.
Welcome to everybody, all the new subs. Pretty much everybody that's ever clicked on this channel.
Yeah, everyone's subbed for a year, pretty much.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate that. Stay late. All right, so back to the Mutant Shibas. So this is what they look like. We're going to do a quick scroll through the website. 10,000 animated collection. This is one example of them. They call it it's they're a pack, they're the den, they have the antidote, they have these different chapters, they've got like a semi roadmap put together. This is their team. We'll jump in the team here in a bit, but let's hop over first. Let's hop to the Twitter. And this is we've called this a red flag before, right? Look how many followers they have. 200
hell of a lot of followers.
240,000 or 249,000 followers. Now, in the past, we've always said, hey, if a project has this many followers, stay away. Huge red flag. But if we keep an open mind, we're going to keep digging into it just in case maybe it's real. Because I did some more digging on. Well, I did one little thing on this. There's websites where you can go to check Twitter followers and see how many are fake or not. Yeah. So I present the next piece of evidence. Apparently, the audit score for the Mutant Shiba Club is 99% real. So this says only 1% of these followers are actually fake. I mean, take that with what you will. I don't know what the the parameters are that website uses to verify Twitter followers, but according to that website, it does say that these are real. Hunter's already calling for an audit of the audit, which, I mean, we may need that to happen. Totally says can't be a rug then. All right, so let's go on. So we already showed here we have the alpha team. This is like the core team. We've got Barry. This is he's the main. This is the main guy. He's the artist behind it. We've got Crazy Jump. We've got Gabba and Lord Slabs. I guess one thing with these, if we look at all of these names, look at how many followers their core team has. So we got 37K, 36K, 30K, 32K. They're all, I don't know if this is a red flag or not, but they're all like weirdly in that same like 30K range, which is kind of weird. It's like, yeah, like what Hunter says, they bought the 30K package for followers, right?
And we have no idea like who they are. Like, I've never interacted with them. I've never seen anybody that I know interact with these guys.
Yeah.
Have they been on a Twitter AMA or anything like that? Like,
right. And most of these, this one joined 2015. These two joined 2021 in June, and the artist joined 2016 in January. So we're gonna forget about these extra three. I want to focus on the artist. Let's focus on the main guy. The person behind the project, the face behind the project, the name that's driving it. Let's look at he's got this link tree, and if we go to his Instagram right here, actually we'll say that we'll go to his DouglasTaylor.co. is apparently this is an organization that he's over. This is his like photography agency or his art agency, and he basically does contract work for companies and design work and pictures and photos and everything. Okay, that's a little, Twitch don't see that. But so this is his website. 15 years of experience, underwater license, dive master. They got a pilot license. We go to the Instagram, you can kind of see that look over. So we've got his Instagram. He's got 16,000 followers, a little bit less than Twitter. About half, but hey, I mean that's still a lot for Instagram. But then you scroll down, you can see like the first 4 posts that you see are of his new project coming out, and then everything else is looks like his previous art. So and it kind of checks out with his website. They had like a diving license for photographer. Looks like they use that to shoot some of their photography and some of their art, and also you'll see some photographs from helicopters and and they have the pilot's license, so it kind of checks out that maybe this is some of their aerial views of the landscapes and everything. But I guess my issue with this is like, if this is his art style and this is what his like history is, I don't see how that translates to mutant Shibas. It's weird, right? But again, someone's art can change. I'm not an artist. So we'll move on. But so we've got that. I guess I'll say one thing for him. I mentioned his Twitter account was joined in January 2016. If you look up here, 59 tweets. And we can scroll to the very bottom. His first tweet on his account right now is from January 10th of this year. So this man's had a Twitter account since 2016. Only 59 tweets, and his first tweet was January 10th. Either he didn't tweet at all, or everything was deleted in those last 5 years. Little shady. So let's see if there's anything else. So the Mutant Shiba Club started in December of 2021. So they've been around for a few months now. They're finally minting. So I guess it wasn't like this big, all of a sudden thing. They have been building for a while. They have a lot of engagement on their tweets. I'll give them that. 41,000 likes on this one that's pinned. They mint soon. They actually mint in like a few hours for their pre-sale. They get pretty good engagement. You get the engagement that you would expect if you had that many followers that were real, right? So they're getting a lot of this. The weird thing with these, and Coffee actually pointed this out in one of the Discords I'm in, is they get a lot of like these weird, they have this. You have to grind for a whitelist for this project, and they have a lot of people that are dedicated to grinding for the whitelist. They've got people that are doing fan art. They've got people that are baking cakes of mutant Shibas. They got people that, so I think someone already got like a tattoo of one. Like, people are going crazy, and the engagement's there. So let me see. I think that is all the information right now. So I want to leave it up to you, Jeremy, and to you, the chat. I don't know if you want to set up a poll right now And we
Yeah, I
can
got
let,
you.
we let the chat decide. After the information you've seen, after we walk through the project. Wait, actually, just kidding. I got one more piece. I forgot about this piece. Let me pull up. I think Discord will show up. Yeah. So we've got the Discord right here. So they have already announced, April. So next month they're going to have holder exclusive merch, and they've also already announced that they're going to have an in-person NFT NYC event. I wasn't able to find the details, but they did announce that there was an event planned for NFT NYC, and they have a partnership with NFT Nerds that gives them discounts for all their holders. So that was announced actually this morning for this project. Now that was it. So we can throw up the poll. We can let the chat decide. I want to hear your thoughts too. Is this a dub or is this a rug?
Man, this one is intriguing. Like, it's not like many projects that we've seen in the past before. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, sure, they have a high follower count, but then they have, the audit, the follow audit. It doesn't say that most of them are fake. There's like a lot of genuine interaction in the Discord, but then they don't get as much interaction on Twitter, and
Right.
so it's really confusing. It's hard to see through it, but I feel like there are enough like yellow and red flags to where I would vote rug. Although I was kind of early into this project, obviously not as a buyer because I haven't minted yet, but when they came out, like I really vibed with the Shibas and like how they looked and the art style. So I've been keeping my eye on this one for a while, and like all the way since then, since like 2 months ago, it's always kind of intrigued me. But will I be minting? I probably wouldn't mint unless I see a ton of volume going in, right? To where it's still like, because it could be a rug, but it could still be a flippable rug.
Yeah.
Right. If people are oblivious to the fact, and I mean, they could sell out. They could still be in a 3 to 5x, which it could end up being a dub, but the project itself could be a rug. So
Now, what do you think about if you look at these sneak peeks we have? Or I think they actually even have a sneak peek in their Discord. What do you think of the art on some of these? They're all animated.
I mean, I think it's dope. It's like a specific art style. I mean, it's all. If this is what it does end up looking like, I mean, I think it's pretty solid. I'm not gonna call it absolute fire, but Shiba's just. I mean, do you know how much support there is out there for like anything Shiba?
Yeah, it's insane. It's like almost more than apes, right? It's like apes and Shibas. Like those are the two go-to animals. If you want to sell out a project, you better use an ape or a Shiba.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, this one just it's really weird. I wish that they would like semi-dox themselves in a way, because again, there's no method of accountability here. Like there's no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess technically the artist uses his name. It's got his link tree. It goes to his LinkedIn.
But
it could be someone my issue
using
is
his identity, right?
Exactly, because with how new the account is, it could be someone just using his identity. Because also, like, my biggest red flag was you look at the history of this person's art.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what about his previous art style? And it looks like he's like a photography artist. Like, how does this translate to making mutant Shibas? I guess that's my biggest red flag is, if this is the main artist over it, nothing about his previous art says anything. Like, if we look at Fewocious, you can see Fewocious' style through everything. It never changes. Mm-hmm. It's the same style. You look at Xcopy, it's the exact same. Like, this just doesn't really translate for me, and that's my red flag. And I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat saying like it's something in the middle. I need people just to, hey, you need to pick a side. Hey, is it dub or rug? There's no middle. You got to pick. It looks like we only had 4 votes. I think most people were kind of sitting in the middle. That's why maybe they didn't vote for one or the other. But if I was a voting person for this, I would have voted for rug just because of the red flags from the artists, from the history of the artist. But it is a weird one. It's definitely a weird one.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm going to label it a rug because there's like enough flags out there. But with that being said, even me myself, I'm not opposed to trying to flip these if the volume is there.
I mean, hey, who knows? We could be talking about this, and then on Friday we're going to talk about, hey, we all have these now, right?
Yeah.
we all bought in because, hey, it actually worked out, or it turned out to be a good flip or a good project. Who knows? But
this is one where I wish it wasn't. Like I would hope that it isn't, because I think the branding is pretty cool.
Yeah, like, even though it is Shiba's, like it is different and unique enough than things we've seen, right? Mm-hmm. I guess my first impression, like I feel like it is unique enough and a little bit different. It's kind of like our, you know what it reminds me of? Let me put them in the chat real quick. It's like our little, it's almost like a little wolf, right? It's our wolf. This one's got the FOMO eyes. It's like it's got our FOMO wolf. But we'll see. But yeah, it looks like everyone's kind of. It looks like most people are kind of on the same page. That they're kind of in the middle. But if they had to pick, it's probably leaning rug. But there's maybe the small percentage that it's a dub, and we'll find out. Maybe we'll revisit this on Friday. Maybe that can be the second part to this dub or rug segment, as we look back at these projects after they've minted out and after we've had more to go off of and see, like, hey, what happened with it, and break it down.
We had 75% say rug, 25% say dub.
Cool. Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. So, cool. Well, that was our first segment of dub or rug. Let me know what you guys thought. You know, if you know, in the future, if there's a project that we find that pops up, you know, that we could do this with, let me know. You know, it's kind of fun to go through, and it kind of shows. It also shows people our process of, you know, it's maybe a little bit more than just looking at a Twitter or looking at the Discord. You try to take in, you know, if you have all this information from people on the team, the Twitter verification, the Instagrams, the link tree, like all this history, you can kind of look at it, and it's fun to break down together and share that with us and with our viewers.
Yeah, well, the breakdown was super solid, so like that just gives the viewers a way, like some ideas about how they can do that themselves and try to stay safe and make their own opinion. Right.
All right. Well, it is. I think it's that time. Do you think it's that time?
I don't know. I don't know if he's ready. I don't know if they're ready for this.
I think it's ready. Let's go ahead and let's see. We got Hun7ar back on stage again. Long time no see.
But what I will say is I'm looking at you, chat, because ever since we invited a guest up here, you guys have been pumping their rosters.
Yeah.
I need y'all to be unbiased, because I'm tired of these L's.
It's been absolutely disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. It is hideous. It's borderline racist and sexist for me and Jeremy, and you know, the chat, you know, they're just pumping their own bags. But yeah, we're glad to have Hun7ar here this week. We're gonna be picking.
What up?
Yo, Hun7ar, welcome back. We're going to be picking, so kind of in honor right now, there's NFT LA going on. They got these conferences. So one thing I've been seeing on Twitter is, you know, people are kind of complaining about these speaker lineups, because you get a lot, this NFT Web3 conference, and you get people doing, you get all these speakers, these keynote speakers that aren't involved in the community. They're not involved with NFTs, but they're speaking at these conferences. It's kind of this weird thing. It's like, hey, just because you have money or because you're a big Web2 personality, hey, you can come speak at our Web3 conference. So we're not going to stand for that. We're going to put our foot down. We are picking our own speaker lineup. So how this is going to work out, this week I've got the first pick, then Jeremy, and then Hunter's got the third. We're going to do a snake style. And right now we are drafting if we were basically picking an NFT conference, we're planning an NFT conference, and we're picking our lineup right now. This is, we each get 5 picks. So we're picking, hey, you get 5 speakers, you better get the best ones. What's going to be the best Web3 NFT conference content out there? And we're going to be drafting those speakers. So I got the first pick. I think there's nervous. You're kind of nervous?
Yeah.
This could go so many different directions. Like, do you go for comedy? Do you go for like super serious? Do you go for like the legal issues? Like, you can go so many different directions, but you probably want to get a mix. But I think that there's an easy first overall pick.
I think no.
I think this is easy. This person was also picked as one of the top NFT artists by Yo Jeremy. So my first pick is Gary V.
Oh, that's not the first pick that I was thinking of.
Really? That's not.
Yeah.
Hunter, is that who you were thinking of?
That wouldn't have been my first. Now I'm scared.
Okay.
I think Gary was gonna take it.
Oh no! Yeah, I mean, I thought Gary was was an easy first one just because he's the spokesman for NFTs. He brings the crowd, right? So he's my first one.
All right. So, Yo Jeremy up with pick number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and take the man, the legend, the GOAT, the master fashion, I don't know,
Okay.
guru,
Yep.
Mr. Vitalik Buterin himself.
Yeah, there it is.
Yo, this man, goated. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for him, so
Yeah.
I have to take it.
That was he was high too. I thought maybe he would have slipped past you guys. I could have like snuck him in like the second round, but no, because I thought maybe y'all would be too focused on NFTs. But yeah, that's a fantastic pick. That's gonna bring a bigger crowd than Gary.
And we got next up Hun7ar.
All right, you guys just took my first 2. So
You can just log off and quit.
I wasn't
now.
really sure where to go from here, but we're gonna find some bangers in here. I think with my first pick, I am gonna go with. Okay, so hold on. Are we allowed to take teams, or does this have to be one person?
I guess pick the most important person from that team.
Yeah. I know who you're thinking of. I had the same question too in my head.
I think I'm gonna go entertainment value here and take Snoop.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Now is Snoop speaking or is he performing or is he doing both
He's
for
doing
you?
both.
Oh, we like that. That is nice.
Even his speaking is a performance, dog.
All right, Hunter, you got one more pick right
You
here.
got another one.
All right, we're gonna swing back around. I really admire this guy. He has a crazy story, really good art. I'm gonna go Drifter, Isaac
Okay.
Wright.
Let's go. That's a dope one.
I think that would be very captivating.
Recently, he put out an interview. I think it's even a video interview, but about his story and stuff. He's talked about it a little bit in the past, but recently there was like a full interview made. I got to go finish that. Yeah, pretty solid picks there, man. Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg and Drifter. I mean, name a better duo.
I don't know if I can.
You can't. Again, the direction can go anywhere here. I'd probably lean more towards the serious side, but I'm going to try to also, know my audience here. But with that being said, I still think I have to. No, you know what? This guy, you guys are not going to pick him. I can take him later.
Oh, you're playing the game. Okay.
yeah, I can take him later. That won't be a thing. I'm going to go with Mr. Wiley Arenal. I don't know how you say his last name, but Gordon Goner.
Okay.
All right.
Is that whenever Hunter, when you were asking about taking teams, were you talking about the Bay C team? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's
Snoop Dogg
you sniped me. I was looking at taking the Bay C team as well, but that's a good pick. Having someone from the Yuga Labs is up there, and now I can't take it from Yuga Labs because it's just I'm not gonna piggyback like that. That's a good one though.
So I'm just gonna put his real name or what? 'Cause
What's his online? Is it Gordon?
Yeah,
Or is it-
Gordon.
I'd
Gordon
just put
Goner.
Gordon. People know him more for that than Wiley.
Okay.
All right. So I got 2 picks here. Man, I can go a lot of ways. All right, so I want. Okay, so my first one. We're gonna think. These people. They may be anonymous online, but this is our ideal world, and this is our dream. This is our just fake scenario where even if they're anonymous online, they're still gonna show up and speak. So, my next person is I'm gonna pick Dingaling. I'm gonna pick the NFT whale because I think it'd be cool just to see his thoughts and just have him, have him talk on stage and hey, here's Dingaling, right?
Bro, that's such a great pick. I didn't have him on my radar.
Yeah. So I'm taking Dingaling, and then my next one is. All right, we're gonna take. I'm gonna take Zeneca.
I don't know about that, but
I'm gonna take Zeneca. I think he'd bring a good like an intro to NFTs type of like a conference environment type of thing. So we got Dingling and Zeneca to go with Gary V.
All right. I mean, I love the Dingaling pick. Zeneca, yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I could see it. I could see it working though. A lot of people know him. I'm gonna go next with. I still think I have a sleeper pick, so I'm gonna save him for last. But I'm gonna go with Beeple here, actually.
Yeah. Beeple's a good one. That's one I was looking at as well. I probably should have picked him over Seneca, looking back at it. But hey, we're gonna take it. All right, Hunter, you got back-to-back picks right here.
Back to back. All right, I think first I'm taking Guy Osiri.
Nice one.
And this man just hosted an Oscars after party. And guess who was here at his house? Kim, Khloe Kardashian, Snoop Dogg, Dakota Johnson, Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson, Chris Rock. Hello. Elliot Page.
Hello.
Mila Kunis, Robert De Niro.
Kid Rock, you mean? Kid Rock?
Oh yeah, sorry, Kid Rock.
But sounds like another Tuesday to me. I typically have those people over at my house as well.
You basically drafted Yuga Labs and World of Woman with that pick too. It's like I mean, where is Bored Apes without Guy Osiri? I don't think that they're where they're at right now today.
Yeah,
I would be lining up to watch him talk. That's a really good one.
Is he gonna be at DCon? I feel like I saw. I was doing some research on speakers and he popped up.
Not sure, but wherever he is, I want to be.
All right,
that's your first of your second, right?
Swinging back around.
Uh-huh.
I'm taking X Copy here because no one knows who X Copy is. So wouldn't that be huge?
Yeah.
And like they just made 25 mil. Like, yeah, give me X Copy there.
Okay. It's super solid picks there.
Yeah.
What pick am I on? Am I number 4 now? My 4th pick? Or is this my last pick? So yeah,
you got two picks left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's number 4.
Right? Oh yeah, you do.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy. I still know none of you guys are even thinking about him, but this just makes it easier for what my last pick will be, so I can go ahead and start thinking about that. But I'm gonna pick up Mr. SBF. His name is Sam Bankman-Fried. He's the CEO of FTX, and if you guys would hear this man's story, oh my gosh, and even just see a picture of him, this guy's like the ultimate like degen who made it. But yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried. Nobody's ever heard of him. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a solid pick once it goes on the timeline.
Yeah, I mean sometimes the people you never hear about, those are the ones that are building, right? Those are the big names that you think that you see and hear. So I mean, it's the CEO of FTX. I would love to hear that. I'd love to hear him talk. All right, so I too am probably gonna take someone that's not on anyone's list, but we got a lot of guys on here. We need some women up here. We need some women on the stage. So I'm gonna take Catherine Hahn. And I don't know if you guys know who that is, but so she was on She basically spent a decade working for the U.S. Department and developed a lot of crypto laws. And then now she's on the board. She was on the board for Andreessen Horowitz as an investor. Now she's launched her own VC investing firm, Han. I think it's like Han Investments or Han Capital or whatever. But she's also on the board for Coinbase. She's on the board for what else? I had it listed down here. Coinbase. She's on the board for OpenSea. On the board for Autograph. So she's a pretty big investor and she has a lot of experience in the government sector or private sector and investing. I think that'd be a really interesting person to see at a conference. So
Yeah, that sounds like a boss.
yeah, absolutely. So we'll take Catherine there.
Is
and
it
then
with a C?
It's a K.
Okay, Catherine what?
Catherine Han, Haun.
Haun. Okay,
Yep.
cool, got it.
And then my last one. Okay, this one. I got to bring the crowd. I need people to show up. So I got Gary Vee bringing the crowd at the beginning. I need someone to bring a crowd from the end of end of my speakers too.
Please don't do it.
I'm taking I promise you're probably not taking this person, but I'm taking this person. She is an OG in NFTs, right? She was on Jimmy Fallon. She's an ape owner.
Okay.
I'm taking Paris Hilton. Yeah, she's gonna be my 5th speaker, and she's wrapping up my lineup.
I like that.
Got her on my list. That's a good pick.
So let's see. Wait a second. So Catherine Han and how do you spell this other person's name?
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton. But is it with I thought her name was spelled.
If you can spell Paris, France, and then Hilton like the hotels, then you can spell Paris Hilton.
Got it. I thought there was something funky about her name, but I guess not. Because
I
you know
don't
me,
think so.
like I don't do Hollywood at all. I'm
I
like,
know. Yeah, you like Texas.
Yeah. I'm like, I can see her face and like the super blonde hair, and then all I think about is she the one from the Legally Blonde movie with the little puppy, or is that a different lady?
I haven't seen the movie. I think it is, but
Because that's what I think about when I think of Paris Hilton.
All right, Jeremy, got your last pick.
Man, it's tough. Last pick. Oh wait, yo. Okay, I gotta do it.
You're taking Beanie.
I'm gonna go Beanie. I gotta take him, man. This guy is. Yeah, I had to take him. I mean, we gotta find out more about this man.
Wait, are you actually taking Beanie?
Yeah, I actually have to take Beanie here.
Okay.
Gotta get him on the stage. Hunter, it's all up to you now.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to top that.
I mean, I thought I was joking, calling you up. I didn't mean to steal your thunder there and saying Beanie, but that's his Q&A portion would be fantastic. But yeah, Hunter, what's your last one?
I think this might be a banger, it might not be. I'm going Laszlo Hanyet. It is the man who spent 10,000 Bitcoin on a pizza. Like, we gotta know more about this.
Okay.
I think he had a 60 minutes interview, but we need like a TED Talk.
We need him on stage.
Yeah.
So it's Laszlo what?
I'll say how to spell it.
Laszlo Bitcoin Pizza is all I'm gonna search up. Oh, Hanyx. Okay.
But yeah, just like what this guy's been through. Like, is he doing okay? Like, that's what we need to know.
Yeah, maybe he's minting mutant Shibas today. Who knows?
Maybe so.
Yeah,
it was either that or Tom Brady. I was gonna take Tom Brady just to make Jeremy mad.
Oh
Hey.
man.
I would have probably voted for you if you took him. But yeah, I mean, all right. So going through the list as it scrolls down on the screen, we got Gary Vee, Vitalik Buterin, Snoop Dogg, Drifter, Gordon Goner, Dingling, Zeneca, Beeple, Gyosari, X-Copy, SBF, Catherine Hahn, Paris Hilton, Beanie, and the Bitcoin pizza guy, Laszlo Heinrichs.
Solid list right there.
Man, I'm getting a lot of pushback from my Zeneca pick already. is this like me picking gutter dogs for the very first pick 'em?
All right, well, let's do an interesting thing here. So let's not take a poll on the roster, but let's figure out what kind of ticket price people would pay to go to a conference of these speakers. Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
What would you pay in ETH or USD, whatever? It doesn't matter. So I'm gonna say.
And this conference has all 15 of these.
Yep, all 15 of these.
I'd probably sell everything. I'd sell an ape for this conference.
All right, so we're gonna do this right here. We're gonna put it up for 2 minutes, and we're just gonna say, oh, I didn't put a 5K plus, but that's okay. If you would pay 5K plus, just pick the last option. But it's less than $1,000. And just assume that these are all the same, like day pass or 3-day pass, whatever. Like what price range are we talking about? If this was the speaker lineup.
While we wait for that, did you guys have any honorable mentions? Anyone that's on your list that you didn't pick?
People that are kind of boring, because I had a lot of people from like Andreessen Horowitz, Dragonfly, Chainlink, Coinbase, Binance, Polygon, like a lot of tech stuff. I even had Richard on there, Richard.eth from Manifold.
I had Richard on mine as well.
Yeah, but compared to these people, I still don't think he makes the cut. Maybe besides Zeneca, but
okay, we get it. Yeah, I had some of like the popular Twitter follows on there, like Andy 8052, Punk 6529, like one of those two I thought would be cool, but that's probably I probably should have picked one of those over Zeneca, I guess.
I also had Franklin on there. Got to figure out more about Franklin.
Yeah, he can give everyone a lesson on flipping.
Yeah, flipping, and I just want to know like what kind of work he does IRL to still be there working and flipping for 0.05, 0.03 when he has 40, 36, 41 apes.
Yeah.
So
also one of my other flyer pick was going to be Nicole Buffett. Is Warren Buffett's granddaughter, who's like a big time NFT investor, but also the fiance to Justin Aversano. I thought that'd be like a really interesting one. But or your boy Maddie, DCL blogger.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about. No, just kidding.
Hunter, is there anyone else on your list that you didn't take that you want to give a little shout out to?
I had Yam on mine. Alexis Ohanian. Roham, the OG.
I was wondering if anyone's gonna pick Roham. Yeah.
Ferocious on there. Reese Witherspoon.
I thought about Roham, but I was like, man, if I ever see him, it's on site, bro. After what he did to my bags.
So Mark Cuban. He kind of dipped, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like the roster. We'll put it up on the timeline. We'll let the people decide.
Yeah. Hunter, thanks for joining us. We appreciate that. I think you hopefully you did the chat well. I don't think BSB was too impressed, so maybe you'll get some pushback from them later in the Discord. But we'll see.
I don't know. It's a tough spot there.
Yeah, you gotta do you, right?
I
all right.
appreciate it.
Hunter, thanks. Take it easy.
Thank you, Hunter.
Yo, peace.
See ya.
BSB says chat's gonna win 100% to 0%. So again, we're playing for second place again, and from the initial reactions, it sounds like you're handed second place. So I'm playing for 2 votes right now. If I can get, obviously I'm voting for myself. If I can get one other vote, I'm gonna count that as a win. We just need Gary V and Paris. We just need Gary V and Paris Hilton to carry Zeneca, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. But
hey, somewhere out there, Zeneca's watching the stream, and he's like, you know what? Tagline. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, I think that's everything we had planned. Any news, notes, any shout outs real quick before we leave?
Yeah, actually. Let's see. Close all this stuff. Y'all don't want to see that. I'll pull it up here. Share screen. All right. So today we do have a couple of drops coming up. We have Loveless City. Not sure if you guys have heard about them. Not sure even if I'm a buyer. Just want to let you guys know this is minting at the moment. Let's see. There's only 1,730 left. They are kind of in the pre-sale phase 2 at the moment. They are minting for 0.166, and let's go ahead and check the floor. So they're right at the mint price at the moment. So if you don't have pre-sale, don't feel too bad because you can pick some up from the floor. Go to their Twitter, 45K, whatever. There is a lot of people that are kind of backing the project, but I'm gonna let you guys kind of just figure that out for yourself. They do have the roadmap tweeted on their Twitter. Take a look at that. And then, if you missed this did sell out. These are the flunks. This is on the Dapper or the flow chain. You bought via Dapper. The marketplace is gonna come out, I believe, on the 4th or 5th. So that's gonna be Monday or Tuesday. That's when you can sell or buy these things. So if you got one, GG's, I think, but we'll see on Monday or Tuesday. The other thing is, I think the pre-mint collector pass, the registration was extended by not even a full day, but it is extended. So if you didn't get a chance to register for the collector pass for the 10,000 spot raffle, be sure to do that before tomorrow, 4 p.m. UTC. And I think that is it.
Cool. Yeah, some good shout outs there. I didn't have anything extra. Everything I had was kind of said today. But yeah, it's Wednesday. We'll be back here Friday at probably 1 p.m. Eastern. Again, same time. We'll let you guys know. We'll tweet out if it changes. Oh, what's that for?
One other thing that I wanted to mention was that this name tag, if you don't know what name tag is yet, I mean, it's just like an add-on or a standalone application that allows you to have like a unique @ like it's a one-of-one @ so nobody can take it across these decentralized applications, including Twitter. You can showcase your NFT collection, blah, blah, blah. But the Genesis collection, the reason why I'm bringing it up, because it's an important day today. For the name tag Genesis collection, you have 24 hours to submit a name change request, which the Genesis collection is going to come with a lot more benefits than the base collection, including their name tag token allocation. So if you want to buy some Genesis name tags, and then maybe like this one at the floor, right? Scan for 0.146. Say you hate this one, you can go ahead and buy it at the floor, put in a name change request, and now you have the name that you wanted for 0.15, and then you get all the benefits of the Genesis collection. So that's a pretty big shout out right there, right? To be honest, it's kind of low key. So if you guys were interested in name tag, or if you're already involved but you don't have a Genesis token, maybe it's something that you think about. But it's only for 24 hours. It's one time. It'll never ever happen again.
Perfect. That's good. That's another good shout out right there if you don't have a name tag. But cool. All right. We'll be back on Friday. Again, thanks everyone for joining us. Appreciate everyone for pitching in, helping out, and participating in some of the segments and things we're doing. And yeah, until then, everyone have a good Wednesday. Be your own alpha.
Be your own alpha. I'll see y'all. Yeah, everybody have a good Wednesday. Secure the bag, secure the profit, buy more ape. To the moon. Let's do it.
Drink that water, hydrate, check your posture. Peace.
Peace.